Go.
So this is my deconstruction of Ed Sheeran's set at Glastonbury, where he's singing Bloodstream, a song he wrote. So right off the bat, what we see a mid shot of him. This is the second widest shot that we'll see of Ed for the whole thing. He's just preparing the sun now, like getting some water in that.
Can you help with this next one?
Next we see a master shot of the whole crowd on a gimbal. This is when Ed's addressing the crowd, like saying that he needs help with him for this next song. This is kind of something that I want to do, the kind of a whole I want the talent to get involved with the audience as well, to kind of make it more enjoyable to watch, so kind of make the viewer feel that they're actually at the event.
I want to see everyone in this field put their arm in the air, and then when the beat drops you're going to bounce like this. Do not keep your arm in the air for the whole time, it'll look a bit weird after a while. But when my arm goes in the air, your arm goes in the air, and then we'll all bounce to it.
Here we see the master shot of the whole set. So you see Ed in the middle, and it's actually the way it's set up is that the lines of focus will actually draw you into Ed here. So there's two here with the light behind him, kind of giving him this kind of a higher status in the whole thing. So the kind of way the light shining in behind him, and he's kind of got the smoke behind him, and the fact that they put him right dead center with the whole people looking at him, it kind of gives him this higher status from the start of the video. So when the song starts, the two lights up here drop, the screens drop, and we see that the screen goes to red from behind. You can still see the outline of Ed in the center as well, to kind of enforce that he's the person that you want to look out for. That's the reason that you clicked on the video to watch. You came here to watch him, so that kind of draws the viewer in, so they know what the video is about from the second they click on it. Here we see a match cut, so it's actually match cut closer in, and it's slowly zooming in as well, so this makes the audience feel like they're getting right up close as well to the action. This is something I want to do with a lot of match cuts around the same subjects. You see a lot of angles around the same subjects, and a lot of cool little zooms to kind of make the audience feel like they're actually here. See a close up of Ed as well, so you get this really cool close up of Ed to actually make you feel. See this really cool close up of Ed to make you actually feel like you're actually at the event. This kind of gives a really cool, nice effect, and that the audience actually knows who it's all about. A nice thing that the set does is that it doesn't stay in one space for a long time. This kind of keeps the pacing of the song high and doesn't let the audience get bored at any one point. As well as this, it uses a lot of slow zooms and slow pans as well, to make sure the audience doesn't get bored as well, to kind of engage their interest more. So the way the lighting's set up here, it's kind of set up with harsh, bright white coming in behind him, as well as you see the red in the background. This is to kind of give him kind of a more holy look, to kind of give him a more highest look, to actually make him more important of the whole thing. Because a lot of the other people that see will be in black due to the lighting. Here you see the white light come behind him, to kind of give him this almost godlike appeal. So here we see a nice close-up of Ed's hand banging the drum as well. You see the nice harsh colours with the white coming in. So there's that really nice contrast of him banging the guitar. Here as well, we really get to look at the light coming in behind, so you see the four lights here all beaming bright white onto him. So this kind of gives him this kind of focal point as well. So it's really nice, beautiful shape that's being made, as well as the colours. So you get the red and the whites making the purples and the pinks that's coming in behind him, reflecting off his shirt, reflecting from, bringing through from his hair, bringing through from the guitar, making some really nice shapes and colours. That's what I kind of want to do with the Miskin show. So the lighting that the Miskin show is using is studio lighting or theatre lighting, so they're not really designed for cameras. This kind of gives these really harsh, kind of nice effects. We get a lot of different lens flares, so a lot of different shapes that will come in from behind, so a lot of the talent will look more appealing due to this. Here we see the master shot again of the whole set. So as you see, a lot of the crowd are in black here as well. And yeah, again we have the lines of focus drawing on Ed as well. And up here as well, we have the harsh whites again. This kind of gives them the more center stage as well. Here you see as well the nice kind of graphics that are being used, kind of focused down onto them. The whole imagery with this whole kind of set is kind of like down facing, so even the whole kind of lighting system is kind of pushing down, like almost like a triangle onto Ed in the middle. So here we get the nice kind of red streams, which kind of go back to the name of the song Bloodstream. So you kind of have nice red streams coming back, which gives this kind of nice like effect. Here's what we Here's where we get some really nice crowd shots. So a lot of the crowd's hands, you see them coming up. I mean, these really nice silhouettes that come in because of the lighting used from the front. It's giving these really nice silhouettes that are being used on the hands here. So when the hands bounce, it's really nice silhouette they use. Here's where we see a close up of the crowd. This kind of immerses the audience even further to kind of make them wish that they were there. The second I want to do with the Miskin show is that I want to give the idea of that you wish it was kind of there to kind of portray the energy that will be at the show, the kind of into the final edit. So this is a really nice shot here, the way that the kind of flags and the banners that are being used to kind of create this nice silhouette with the red coming behind. You see what Ed in centre stage here holding the guitar. Kind of gives this kind of it kind of gives him this authority on stage. So the kind of like centre stage kind of people below him kind of gives this really like authority about how he presents himself. I think this is a really nice shot here. Here again you see the same pinks and the same purples that are being used with the harsh lighting coming in. So you see in the background there's a really nice shade of pinks and purples that are coming from behind. The second I kind of want to do the Miskin show, the kind of different contrasts, different colours that will be used because due to all the different genres that are going to be presented, the lighting will be a really key role in presenting the kind of diversity that we're kind of going for with the show. See, I didn't really like this shot here. Due to the changeover, I do like the way that it's set up as always, but I didn't like the fact that they showed the stagehand coming in changing the guitar. I would have, personally myself, I would have swapped to the master shot there while that happened and while this changeover happened. But still, again, it's still a nice shot of it getting prepared for the next bit, kind of giving this kind of more authority because he's upright, the lights coming in behind him, it still kind of gives him this authority on stage. So here you can see here, you get the full, the wide shot of the whole stage. See the whole stage here, the two massive screens behind, and the whole crowd below. This kind of gives a really nice effect because we've got the two kind of the two screens here playing with the same shot on screen. You get the nice whites and nice oranges and reds and purple, and the nice reds and whites coming in from behind. And that kind of gives them this kind of euphoria again. As well as that one, the crowd looking up all these nice silhouettes that are being shown from the banners and flags. As well as that, the way the kind of pyramid is kind of lit up, like the colour scheme of the song, I think that's a really nice effect that they've used there as well. So right here the music's starting to build, you get kind of even more silhouettes of the crowd showing. So right now as the music's starting to build, we're getting kind of different, more quick shots of what's going on. So as well as in the backgrounds will change to red, so the purples have gone kind of the red and yellows kind of building up as the song's building. You get these nice red, yellows and oranges coming through. And there again you get a nice establishing shot of the sun setting, so you get the oranges of the sky contrasting with the oranges of the set, the bright lights coming on the set as well, contrasting with the bright white sets of the background as well, and also the silhouettes of the power lines and hills in the background corresponding with the nice silhouettes used by the crowd as well, which I think is a really nice shot. So right here was, as well as the song's building up now, as well as that you see the nice reflection of the sweat that's coming off Ed's forehead, which kind of shows that he's getting into the song. That kind of gets the audience involved. You see how the crowd before is kind of getting into the song, the way they're playing around, dancing to it. It kind of gets the whole kind of audience on the same page and kind of conveys the energy that's being used in the song. As well as now with the strobe lighting that's coming in, so you see the nice strobe lighting that's giving the nice kind of black and red shadows coming in as well. Now you see as the song builds, even more you see the hands banging the guitar. That kind of builds the song as well to kind of keep the rhythm and the kind of pacing of kind of build the rhythm and the pacing of the whole show, which is kind of nice. So here you see the really nice harsh whites coming in, strobe lighting as well. So you see the whole reds and the oranges being taken up with this nice white coming in from the centre stage again. So you get this really nice shape that's coming in as it flashes black and white, which is a really nice kind of artistic shot that's being used by the lighting guys. So it's weird now, it's almost like an explosion that's going off on stage with the lights flashing. See the nice harsh whites flashing, see Ed's been consumed by the light, so the kind of the black surrounds you, kind of drawn in on kind of what's happening. You build the anticipation of what's going on with the audience. It kind of builds the song as well as Ed's building the song, banging on the guitar as well. So you get these nice silhouettes again, the background's all lit up as well, but you're kind of drawn in by this kind of almost like an explosion that's going on with the light here. So kind of now as this song's kind of winding down, you see the nice the reds and oranges are coming back as well. The white's kind of less harsh, it's kind of going back into the background. The crowd's kind of disappeared as the lights calm down, and the whole thing's winding down in the middle of the song. As well as again, you still get these nice silhouettes coming in the background, streaking across Ed's face and all that, but you kind of lose the harsh whites and the harsh oranges and reds that's being used as well. So you kind of just get him, you can tell the song's winding down now, the way his body language is acting. But as well, again, he's still setting the stage, so it still gives him that authority on stage. So at the end of the show, he throws the pickup that you see, so he's kind of like almost defeated by the song, so it kind of gives us kind of imagery that he's given everything he has into the song, the way he flicks it, the way he smiles at the end, the kind of drop, the way his whole body kind of drops as the song's over, kind of gives this nice, kind of like he's giving everything into the song, so kind of makes the audience at home wish that they were there, kind of wish that they experienced that, kind of conveys the energy as well at home. And so that's my breakdown of the Ed Sheeran Bloodstream's Glastonbury set. What I wanted to take from that is kind of how lighting and different lighting styles can be used to set the pace in the piece. The way that it kind of the way that lighting is kind of used to set the tone in the piece is kind of something I want to convey into the Miskin show. And the way there's lighting and the camera setup kind of uses Ed to he sets center stage as well, because it kind of gives us authority on stage. It's like that I really wanted to do. So yeah.